The night was cold and windy. Trees were stripped of their leaves by the severe gusts swirling around them. A mixture of leaves and pine cones littered the ominous road. However, the driver braved the journey early in the day. His life depended on it. The radio gave some comfort with music and commentary from a local DJ, calming the driver's nerves a bit and helping the time pass by. 3 hours left. His sleek red 1969 Dodge Charger roared with the strength of its Hemi engine down the barely lit road. Suddenly, the radio bellows with static and goes silent. Keep driving. The driver jumps with shock and looks at his rearview mirror. It's too dangerous to turn his head. Two piercing red and yellow eyes stare back at him within a shadowy silhouette. Hello, Gabriel, the figure says. Gabriel looks again at the eyes peering back at him in his rear view and starts to slow down. He musters enough strength to ask the obvious question. Who are you? A grin appears, wide, wider than humanly possible, and yet reveals human-like teeth. The figure speaks in a soft tone, but with obvious authority. Don't slow down. You have a schedule to keep, don't you? Not much time left. As for my name, I'll tell you what. Let's play the old name game. You get three choices, Gabe. Three. You win. I'll leave and you can continue on. You lose. Well, it's best that you don't find out what happens then. At least for now. Ready? Do I have a choice? Gabriel says with an uneasy tone. The figure responds with silence that speaks volumes. The game has begun, whether Gabriel wants to play or not. The figure starts off with a question. Who am I, Gabriel? Remember the clue I gave you and what I said earlier. Choose wisely. Gabriel took a deep breath and took some time before answering. A name appears in his head, an old one he hasn't spoken in years. Dad. The figure laughs menacingly and gives his answer. Not even close. I'm not surprised though. I can see how you think I'm someone you killed. A nasty bit of business that was, by the way, but necessary depending on your point of view. A nice touch, by the way, beating his head in with an old chainsaw. He deserved it, Gabriel reasoned with a flash of anger on his face. He forgot he was speaking to something frightening. Reality stepped in and snapped Gabriel back in line just before the figure responded. Looks like I hit a nerve. What you did is your fault. I simply expressed my admiration for your work. Now, it's time for your second guess. Gabriel responded with strong defiance. No, I'm not playing your game. I know a lot of people, and you don't look like any of them. It's almost impossible for me to guess right. Suddenly, his skin began to burn. Extreme thirst hit Gabriel suddenly, and he couldn't open his mouth. His screams were muzzled and held inside his throat. The car began to drive itself and started to slow down. The figure leaned forward, his eyes blazed hot with intensity, and his voice was stern. Looks like you want to miss your appointment, fool. Feel the burn. I'll wait. A few minutes pass, and the pain subsides. The thirst leaves Gabriel, and his mouth opens. He takes a few breaths and looks at the figure in his rear view. The figure speaks a warning just as Gabriel opens his mouth. You're getting closer to your destination. If you reach it before finishing this game, you lose. Who am I? Gabriel gathers some courage and gives an answer. Matthias, the guy I killed a few years ago. The figure's eyes glow a bit, and he shows a toothy grin, this time with fangs. Good guess, but a wrong guess. One left, and half a mile to go. Who am I? Gabriel starts to panic, but then he sees a sign that says, Saving Grace. Gabriel's eyes widen, and he shouts with glee, I know who you are. I know who you are. I beat you. I beat you. 25 seconds later, the car pulls up to a brightly lit building. People can be seen in the window eating, drinking, and playing pool and darts. Two men, a patron and the bartender, look at the front window after hearing Gabriel's car screech to a halt and disappears. The patron looks back at the bartender and shakes his head, igniting a conversation. What's with that look, Sam? Devil, how long are you going to keep that guy stuck in a time loop? Until he gets my name right. Well, how's he going to do that? You keep speeding up the car before he can say it. And what's with the saving grace sign? Why does it make him realize who you are? Samuel, I never said the game was fair. Besides, he's a murderer. Purgatory sends him. Suits him just fine. As for the saving grace sign, well, he needs a trigger. So I gave him one. Kind of funny, don't you think? Saving grace for someone who's already doomed and has been dead for decades. Anyway, you ready to settle up on your tab? It's almost closing time and I have to get these souls moving on. Samuel puts a gold coin on the bar table while taking a shot, then disappears in a flash. The sky starts to lighten, and the sign outside of the building flickers and shuts off. Beelzebub is closed until nightfall.